It's time for the Double J Podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. For all your wrestling news and commentary, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Double J Podplex. My name is Jeremy, and alongside me is my co-host Jimmy. Jimmy, do you have something to say to the people?
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here yet again, and to think on such a beautiful, beautiful winter night in New Orleans, Louisiana. Somewhere in this world, Alex Rodriguez is eating a live kitten.
because nobody likes Alex Rodriguez,
No,
especially if you're from here.
I don't even think Alex Rodriguez likes Alex
Yeah,
Rodriguez.
you're right. Alex Rodriguez does not like Alex Rodriguez. But, so thank you for that introduction, Jimmy. Speaking of Jimmy, unfortunately we have some bad news to kind of start the show with. Figured we'd tell y'all that, I'm sure y'all already know, but Jimmy Snuka unfortunately died today at the age of 73. People, a lot of the fans remember him with his steel cage match that he had with Don Morocco at Madison Square Garden, and the famous Superfly splash that he hit, and from top the cage.
Yeah, that was in like every starting video of every pay-per-view ever.
Right. So, but yeah, our condolences to his family, his friends,
Of course,
and his peers in the wrestling industry.
a true legend.
Yeah, absolutely. So, rest in peace to Jimmy Snuka.
And I think so getting to that as well, it's just obviously before that, the big Snuka news was the fact that he was charged or with the
Right, he had all those legal troubles and stuff.
saying that he killed his girlfriend, and apparently he did get acquitted for it and everything. So I do hope and pray that it didn't go out that way.
Right.
May he rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace, Jimmy.
And he'll be up there with Macho Man and the Warrior.
And the Warrior, that's right.
And having some great battles up
That's
there.
right.
So
I'm actually enjoying a delicious Abita orange, the sweet orange lager.
Oh, really?
In my Ultimate Warrior beer koozie that I just purchased.
I heard that beer was very, very good. I'm actually drinking a blueberry right now.
Oh, that beer is good.
Yeah,
I've
so,
had it.
it's part of Abita's Harvest series. So I don't know if we're getting paid for that plug or not, but that's fine.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'll go have a talk with the execs at some point. But anyways. But
anywho, moving along. I'd actually like to put a shout out to one of my best friends, my friend Jonathan.
Yeah.
Who wrote the intro song, the new intro song that you heard.
The official intro song.
The official intro song to the Double J Podplex show. And he did all the guitars. He's been playing guitar for a while.
Super talented guy, man.
Very talented
guy. Hell of a guitar player. There's no doubt.
Yeah, actually, I need to go to his house and jam with him soon, because we used to do that a whole bunch.
Right.
And I need to catch up with him. So, but shout out to Jonathan.
Speaking of Jonathan, I also heard, isn't he part Viking?
Yeah.
So we had a Viking do our intro.
Well, he didn't.
Can any other podcast say that?
Right. See, I have another
believe
friend.
so.
I actually have a friend who has the long beard and the long hair. But that's Brett. Unless you were thinking of Brett the whole time.
I think I was thinking of Brett the whole time. But
okay, but you know what?
Either way, we're going to stick with that.
Yeah, we'll stick with it. Jonathan, you're a Viking, so that means you have to grow out your beard long and grow your hair long too. So, but shout out to him. He did a great job on the intro.
Fantastic job, man. Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump to the Royal Rumble, shall we? So one thing that I look forward to when watching the Rumble is surprise entrance.
Correct.
That is one thing that I look forward to, just because it's like, they'll bring back old guys. Like, what was that year they brought back Diesel?
Oh yeah,
that was cool.
2-3 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah,
that was really cool.
Really awesome.
I enjoyed that.
Hearing his old theme song too. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But it's the fact of that. I think what everybody looks forward to in the Royal Rumble is the secret entrance. Not necessarily who's going to win, although that is great as well. But, because of the fact that type of pop that you get from the secret entrance.
It's
unexpected.
Great. It really is awesome.
I mean, you don't get that all the time, and you get a bunch of them in the same, at the same time.
And I think it was last year or the year before, Bubba Ray Dudley was one of.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay, yeah, Bubba Ray Dudley, that pop there, dude, that was huge.
I was watching something on Royal Rumble on the network, on the WWE network, and it actually Bubba Ray was talking and saying that when he was gonna show up at the Royal Rumble, they brought him in a black hearse with tinted windows, and they brought him to a separate trailer outside. Like, no one knew he was there. And then when he came out, it was a true surprise. And Kevin Nash said the exact same thing. Some of these guys that are going to be a one and done surprise at the Royal Rumble, just to make the appearance, sometimes maybe only Vince knows. Maybe only Vince and Triple H knows. So. But, it's certainly something we always look forward to. And who would you think might be one for this year?
At first, when I first heard about the stuff with John Cena and Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then when Undertaker announced that he was entering the Rumble, I said, okay, well, that's a given. It's got to be Taker.
Right.
But now that they kind of nixed all, those Cena and Taker plans, I think it's a possibility that Finn Balor could come back from his injury and reclaim what he didn't lose, but was taken away from him.
He could kind of follow in the footsteps of Edge and John Cena to show up in the Royal Rumble when he was supposed to be hurt longer.
Right.
And to be a guy on the main roster, having that type of pop coming back would be incredible.
Oh, it would. That would be great.
And I think everybody wants Finn back. As far as John Cena and Taker goes, they said they scrapped it. They said it's no longer going to happen, or they're not going to look for it to try. In a way, it seems like they're trying to push Strowman on Taker, which I don't know how much I love that, but you never know. You never know. I mean, they may go back to it, and you can't trust WWE sometimes. As far as the surprise factor.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. If they do roll with Strowman and Taker, I'm not sure I'd be a fan.
I understand them trying to push Strowman as the next big thing.
Right.
And he can be a strong man.
Yeah.
He can certainly be that guy.
Certainly.
The dude that, runs roughshod throughout the entire company. That's fine.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy that you could pass the torch to as far as Taker goes. He's not somebody like Bray Wyatt. He's not somebody like Baron Corbin even that could maybe fill that role. A big, strong guy.
You think Baron Corbin could be that guy or a guy to pass the torch to as far as Undertaker's concerned?
Let me start that off by just saying that his growth from NXT to now has been incredible.
Yes.
His character development, his mic skills have grown. He's
kind of
filled into his character.
Yeah, I noticed that on SmackDown the other day.
When it all started when he had that SmackDown Smack Talk or whatever the thing after SmackDown, when he got in Daniel Bryan's face and started calling him on stuff. I mean, there's a real raw edge to him, and his gimmick of the Lone Wolf kind of hints to the American Badass version of the Undertaker.
True, I can agree with that.
Big guy. Nobody's going to be Undertaker. Nobody is going to be Mark Calloway. It's not going to happen.
That is correct.
But you can have guys that would fill that type of role. And to me, a lot of people compared Bray Wyatt to him. I think Bray Wyatt's completing his own niche. I think he is his own guy. He may be the new face of fear, so to speak.
Right.
But I believe he's kind of his own guy now.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what people mean, or what would they say, he is a new face of fear. But it's just, it's a different fear to me. Undertaker, dude, he was legit, terrifying. us growing up as kids, and even my little brother, like when he used to watch it with me, and he'd see the Undertaker like roll his eyes in the back of his head, like that freaked him out.
Dude, that was creepy. But
you know what I'm saying?
That was creepy as hell.
It still is.
Yeah, But the memorable thing about that too is I remember all my friends in elementary school and everything trying to do that, trying to do the little eyes thing. Yeah. I was never able to do it. I remember that being kind of a cool thing to do at the time.
I used to be able to do it. I used to be able to kind of do a little bit of it.
You're kind of doing it right now.
Yeah.
It's getting very terrifying in this room.
Yeah.
I may have to go get another Abita Blueberry Harvest from the fridge.
We are out.
We are out.
These are
That's it. We're out of beer. So if anybody's listening, and if you're in the New Orleans metro area, please come to wherever we're at and bring us some beer.
Yeah.
Please.
We need beer.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. But going back to the question, I think there's a good chance Finn Balor could win this thing. Who is your pick to?
Well, to me, this is a year where a lot of people kind of speculate that it would be Goldberg or Lesnar because of the fact of what happened and both of them being involved.
Right.
But they were, mentioned to be involved quite early. It wasn't like this was said last week. This has been said that Goldberg and Brock will be there.
Right.
Now that you have people like Taker saying he's going to be in it, and obviously getting closer to it, you could have more and more people saying they're entering themselves in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
If the plans really aren't for it to be Taker and Cena, then I don't believe Undertaker's winning. With that said, I wouldn't be surprised if he won.
And you do make a good point by saying that.
I like to try to go deep into depths and pick somebody that would maybe be a better choice than Finn Balor. But to be honest, it's really simply not a better choice if he shows up. If Finn Balor shows up at the Royal Rumble, Finn Balor wins the Royal Rumble. Period.
Yeah.
However, we do have some dark horses. We have some dark horses that could win the Rumble. Some maybe stagnant characters that deserve it. Somebody maybe like Seth Rollins.
Okay.
There's guys that would definitely benefit from it. What about, say, if Samoa Joe came to the Rumble? What if he won it?
I wouldn't be mad.
I'd be pissing on myself.
Yeah.
That's my boy. But shout out to Samoa Joe. But I hope maybe Samoa Joe will bring us some of the beers.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think he could.
Then kill us.
He's not too. Well, Joe is going to kill you, but
exactly.
But yeah, he's not too far. I mean, he's up the street. I mean, a couple hours away. No big deal.
No, yeah.
He's a nice guy. He should be able to help us out, man.
Right. So if you had to pick one
straight up. See, the thing is, I'm not going to pick Finn because of the fact that he's not there yet. We don't know for a fact that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. It's just speculation. Correct. And on probably both our parts, a little bit of hope. If I had to pick somebody, point blank, just because he's never done it, Goldberg.
Okay.
I don't know how much sense it makes, but a lot of times some of these things in WWE may not have to make sense.
Right.
But if you see Taker become up on top, maybe you do get to Taker Cena. Maybe you do anyway.
Maybe.
But I'm gonna pull it out of the bag of tricks out of nowhere and say that Goldberg enters number 1, Brock Lesnar enters number 2, and they will stand the test of time to the end.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that with my final 4 in the ring being Taker, Strowman, Goldberg, and Lesnar.
Very good.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first on the Double J Podplex show. So let's go to WrestleMania 33 real quick. It's been, I guess, reported, so to speak, that Brock Lesnar and Goldberg will close out the event. What are your thoughts?
Well, they're definitely playing off the fact of how big both superstars are, how well respected they are, how well just their history in general. Mm-hmm. From Goldberg on, what was it, 172-0 or whatever that long streak was. Yeah, I forgot the number.
It was ridiculous.
And of course, Brock Lesnar's beating the Undertaker at Mania, which we were both there for.
I tell you what, you could hear a pin drop
in the damn Superdome.
No, the Silver Dome.
The Silver Dome. Poor Hogan, man. He's about as senile as it gets right now. He doesn't know where he's at. But with that said, I think in a way it's almost disrespectful to have Brock and Goldberg close out the show. It's disrespectful in the fact that, in my opinion, not to the fans or anything, but in my opinion, it puts down whatever the championship matches are.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have somebody like, say Finn comes back, or say Finn doesn't come back, and it's like, I don't know, Roman and Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. It's still going to be a good match, but you're almost putting down the championship matches for Brock and Goldberg, which, I don't know. I think it should be on the upper card for sure. It should be top 3, like WrestleMania always has.
Right. The
3 big matches or 4 big matches that are just larger than life. But I don't know. I don't. Maybe you could shed some light on that.
I agree with you as far as kind of being like disrespectful,
kind of undermining his roster. If you go with them,
right. And the only reason they do that is because of the names.
Yeah, of course.
Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
They're bigger than anything. Yeah, of course.
But when you really look at it, I mean, and this is just my personal opinion, a Goldberg Brock Lesnar match now. I mean, we witnessed on Survivor Series.
Yes.
Their match lasted not even 2 minutes. It was a minute
and a half.
Yeah,
a little bit over a minute and a half, a little under, something like that. Yeah.
But
nobody saw it coming. I mean, that was insane.
And honestly, and I'm sure I can speak for pretty much everyone when I say this, that was a pretty disappointing match.
The match itself, yes.
Yes.
The outcome was,
I mean,
cool as anything.
Don't be wrong. I am really glad Goldberg won, but I just would have wanted to see a longer match. Now, unless something happened to where they had to kind of cut it short, that's the only thing I can.
Well, but I think we'd have heard something about that by now from somewhere,
right?
Unless they really are keeping it hush, 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 hush,
right?
However, I do think you're gonna have to give some type of reason why it ended that quickly. I'm not talking about come out and say, "Oh, well, the reason we didn't." No. Why did it end that quickly? Because Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar didn't prepare enough. Maybe they underestimated Goldberg. I think this is more of a storytelling now between somebody like Paul Heyman on the mic, being the advocate of Brock Lesnar, who's maybe the best human being that's ever held a microphone in his life. It's kind of just in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Getting tired.
But yeah, so I don't think they should do that. If that is what they're planning, I just think it would be really disrespectful to whoever's the Universal Champion,
right,
or the WWE Champion. I mean, because generally that's your main event.
Right. Generally, the person who wins the Royal Rumble would highlight the WrestleMania. And you have to point it now. It's like, say, it's not one of those two gentlemen that does it.
Right.
You telling me, like we've been talking about Finn all damn program, tell me if Finn Balor wins the Royal Rumble, that he's not going to highlight WrestleMania?
No.
I don't like
you know what
I'm saying? You're not going to allow somebody like Finn or somebody like AJ or somebody like even Jericho, as great of a job as he's been doing, somebody like Kevin Owens, who's been a workhorse all year. There's so many other guys that could use that momentum. And as much as I love Goldberg and grew up loving him, it doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to have him. Because you mentioned for the big names, they would have a main event. Mm-hmm. Well, but did you really need them to main event to sell tickets? You could just advertise them having a match in Mania. Did it have to be the main event? I don't see how that would even really boost anything.
Right.
Although, I guess from a PR standpoint, this is the main event. I don't know. I guess so. But I'm kind of against it.
Yeah, I'm against it as well. I think we're definitely on the same page for that. But yeah, so we're gonna go back to the Royal Rumble, not so much the match, but just the pay-per-view itself. So AJ, we have a couple of matches that will be happening there besides the 30-man Battle Royal. We have AJ Styles versus Cena for the WWE title.
Right.
I love the promo they did on SmackDown.
Yes.
Where Cena kind of showed like that attitude, like, hey, you know, you're not gonna disrespect me like that, you know.
Which he needs.
Yes.
He definitely needs some change to his character, which this time, and really, honestly, I think AJ brings it out in him. Every time they faced off, you've seen a different John Cena than you have in the past. And, you know, the fact is, they've had, every time they've wrestled has been classics. That match they had at SummerSlam was, you know, in my opinion, the match of the year, at least in WWE. I think that would be the match of the year from my perspective. I mean, I look forward to it. Does Cena win? I mean,
that's a good question.
I mean, the Phenomenal One has his number at this point.
Oh yes, he does. He's beaten them twice.
Yeah,
twice already. So yeah, you're right. He does definitely have his number. But I don't know. I mean, there's so much that could happen, and then there's so much stuff that was planned that's now not happening. So it's
right.
There's it could go anywhere right now. You know,
it's a good time to be a fan because you would legitimately be surprised by a lot of things going on.
Mm-hmm.
AJ and Cena, because of how good the rivalry's kind of been between them. I mean, AJ's always been the guy who many people said would never wrestle in WWE because of his size.
Right.
And then you had, you know, the guy who was the standard bearer of WWE, who quote unquote buries guys like AJ. It's strange how it's almost an underdog story, yet he's the damn champion.
Right.
You know, yet he beat Cena twice. You know, it's funny how he can still have that chip on his shoulder through all of that. And I think both guys bring the best out in each other, which is going to put on a show wherever they are.
Yes, it will.
I'd almost rather them headlining Mania.
Yeah, you'll definitely get a better show.
You get a better match.
Guarantee
you that.
A better match out of Cena and Styles than you would Lesnar and Goldberg, because all you're going to see are suplexes and
spears here.
Spears.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's like eventually, you know, that just it gets old. Because I mean, honestly, to me, whenever I see a Lesnar match, it's like, you know, after like the fourth or fifth suplex, it's like, all right, well, this is the whole match. Okay, I'm bored already. You know, that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I mean, I think it's because he don't do steroids before each match. So I think that might have a little bit to do with it.
Right.
Also, speaking of that, you actually brought to my attention earlier today. Brock Lesnar is slated for 15 showings, is it, before WrestleMania?
Yes, I do believe it was 15.
15, 14, something like that. I do remember you saying the one that he's not going to attend for Monday Night Raw is actually in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah.
And the reason for that was?
Because I had it up.
Because it you know, it's like, damn, dude, you get suspended from the UFC, now you can't come to a city? You know, like,
right,
it's like,
right.
Damn, this really must be a bad dude.
And I think it had something to do with the state of Nevada type thing as to why he can't, you know, compete or make an appearance on Raw in this state of Nevada.
Right. Yeah, because it's sports and entertainment, and he can't be involved in that in Nevada. I guess I get it.
Right. So, you know, that's what happens when you do steroids, you know?
Don't do steroids, kids.
Yeah, don't do steroids.
Be a man. Do coke.
Do coke. Go ahead and go for it. Do
coke like a freaking adult. But seriously, we, you know, this isn't live. But if someone wouldn't mind going to pick up a 6-pack or, you know, 12-pack or some wine or something. I mean, it's 4 a.m. over here in sunny New Orleans, and we're just trying to get by.
Absolutely, that's all you can do.
And although you're not going to be able to hear it until after, you know, this is recorded, we will still appreciate whatever you may bring.
Absolutely, no question. And so now we're going to move on to Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. What are your thoughts on that?
It just seems like Raw. The reason SmackDown is destroying Raw in the views. Excuse me, I shouldn't say destroying. They beat them a couple times in viewing, but SmackDown should never beat Raw. Raw is the flagship program.
Right.
Even though they split the roster, Raw is the flagship program. Period. But it seems like we've seen this movie before. It seems like we've seen Reigns and Owens in the same ring 1,000 times already.
Right.
It seems like we've seen Jericho and Owens together as best friends,
right?
And which I love, but
I love it too.
And having them with Reigns, it seems like we've seen Kevin Owens with Rollins. That's what you're missing without having Finn Balor, to kind of mix that up a little bit.
Right.
So it's just you've seen it over again. I mean, do you expect Reigns to actually win it?
Honestly, I don't see him winning it. And, a lot of people boo Reigns. They don't like him.
Right.
I like him.
I like him too.
I like Roman Reigns. I think he has a good character. I mean, he's not horrible in the ring.
No, he's pretty good. I mean, he's got some signature moves.
Yeah.
I
mean, maybe his mic skills could use work. Maybe.
What I think Reigns' issue, or at least the writer's issue with Reigns, they almost try to make Reigns a talker. Could he use mic skills? Of course. I think, honestly, the less Roman Reigns says, the better. And that's not even a knock on him. That's helping his badass persona.
Correct.
He doesn't need to be a badass like Stone Cold was and, mean-mouthing everybody. He doesn't need to do that.
Right.
He needs to cut. He had that shirt a while back, that shirt that I think I have somewhere, that says, arrive, kick ass, leave. Or arrive, raise hell, leave. I think that may have actually been Stone Cold. But either way,
that actually was Stone Cold. That was.
But either way, I had to. But that's what Roman needs to do to re-energize his character or turn heel. But he needs to go back to the badass. He can't be this happy-go-lucky babyface like John Cena was.
Right.
That's why some people dislike him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even sure how turning him heel would work. Do you think that would work?
Well, put it like this. It'd be a slow burn. Turning him heel would accomplish a couple things. First of all, he'd probably start getting cheered more than he is now. I mean, he gets booed than any heel on the roster, okay? Turning him heel, letting him be a complete badass, screwing everybody over, whatever. Then maybe a year down the road, giving him a reason to turn face, but not face, kind of like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
That's where Roman Reigns would be best at. Seth Rollins as well, actually, is being this anti-hero, not being the face and doing all these face type of things, but sometimes doing things that a heel does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still being that same character, kind of laying on that line.
Right.
I think that is where somebody like Roman Reigns should live.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. That's good. Yeah, I like that. And speaking of Rollins, so obviously we've been seeing Reigns and Rollins, kind of be on the same page recently. Just almost like their old Shield selves. You know what I'm saying?
Thank God, I thought you were going to ask me about the Rollins nudes.
Oh, well.
That got leaked. I don't, I don't have them on me. I mean, they are in my wallet, but they're not on me.
You have wallet size ones?
I have wallet size of Seth Rollins. I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. So, but yeah, as you were saying,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Serenity now.
I thought it was Hoochie Mama.
Yeah.
Hoochie Mama.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld quotes will happen quite often.
Yes,
I guarantee you.
Yes, it's mandatory.
Yes, we have to have at least 3 per episode.
Yeah,
but hinting to what you were saying, I just don't know that a 2-man Shield reunion would make any sense.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do a full out reunion, but it's just them teaming together, so to speak, kind of just reminds you of the Shield.
Oh, of course, of course.
The Shield was just
so dominant. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely one of, if not the most dominant faction the wrestling world's ever seen, outside of the Bullet Club. But the real Bullet Club, not the shit they've been doing lately.
Right.
But that and that's another thing that really grinds my gears. Is the way the WWE, not to get off topic, but the way the WWE treated Gallows and Anderson when they came here from New Japan. I mean, the Bullet Club was some badass dudes, and they brought them in here, and they had them losing, and they had them doing, not looking too tough.
Yeah, like I said in the previous episode, like I'm surprised they didn't like win it. They didn't win the title sooner or at all. I should say.
I mean,
really.
I think it's coming.
It'll come.
Yeah, I think it's coming. Those two guys are too damn talented to not have it happen. You have two guys who have wrestled all over the world and have won championships all over the world. Why the hell wouldn't you want them at some point winning your title?
Right.
But getting back to Finn, what happens when Finn comes back to Raw? Do you have the leader of the Bullet Club yet again? Oh, excuse me, the club, because we can't use Bullet Club because it's owned by frickin' Japan.
Right.
But either way.
But yeah, I don't see Roman Reigns winning that match against KO.
I'd like to see him cheat to win.
That would be cool.
I'd like to see him, just destroy everything and literally cheat to win.
We're talking about Reigns, right? Okay.
And sometimes the biggest dog in the yard got to bite the owner. Sometimes he has to bite the hand that feeds.
Damn.
So, let's see.
Well, yeah, we will definitely see about that. Honestly, I don't really see it happening. But hey, that would be cool to see, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Change. Make wrestling great again.
That's right. Make wrestling great again. And so we also have the women's title match between Charlotte and Bayley.
I love her so damn much.
Absolutely. Who doesn't, though?
Bayley, not the dude.
Right. Yeah, definitely not the dude.
Yeah, Charlotte Flair was actually... I'm not going to go that far with it. I was going to say if Charlotte Flair was born with a penis, but I don't want to do that. Because we may someday have Charlotte Flair on the podcast.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, oh yeah, about that penis comment,
They whip both their asses.
And it's like,
with her penis.
I ain't coming home tonight.
But yeah, everyone loves Bayley. She's a big fan favorite. Do you think... Honestly... I don't think she will win this time around.
No, it's too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah,
but I think WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think you certainly plant seeds.
It would almost be kind of like another Daniel Bryan story.
Yeah, that's exactly. What I was
she's
thinking.
the underdog.
Yeah. She's that underdog that the fans love.
Right, and she's going to overcome all the odds.
That's right.
And yeah,
she's somebody they root for regardless. That's their girl, And I want to know. Will she be my girl? But of course she's not gonna. She blocked me already. She doesn't return my text. She blocked me on Facebook and Twitter. But luckily I have my ways of getting in touch, and it's not creepy. Maybe a little, but
maybe a tad.
Maybe a tad. I mean, but hey,
tad.
That's life. That's like buck up, people.
That's right. Yes, indeed. Now, as far as any other matches for the Rumble, I don't think any other ones are confirmed right now. I don't even think. I guess they're confirmed, but these are, all the ones that we have so far.
Right. I think Charlotte wins, but I think obviously Bayley's gonna give her a hell of a fight. Bayley's gonna give her everything she can handle to build up to Mania, where maybe she does take it. The issue is with baby faces, a big time crowd favorites, underdogs, is that it's more about the climb than the actual win.
Yes.
It's like, you climb up that ladder, and when you finally get to the pinnacle, not the pit, when you finally get to the pinnacle, you overlook all the mountains and everything, and it's beautiful. But then after a while, it's like, well, I don't have anything else to do. I'm here.
Yeah. And
I think Bayley would sadly, almost like Sasha Banks did, fall into that category of it's more about the climb than the actual win.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Will she do it? Of course.
Yes.
May she do it at Mania? Maybe.
I think Mania is the place for her to do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it would make sense. She's certainly going to put on a show.
For those of you still listening, go follow us on Twitter.
Please do.
We have a Twitter page, WJ Podplex, at JJ Podplex, I should say. Go ahead and follow Jimmy and I on Twitter as well. I'm at The King Jerome, and Jimmy is at Real Jimmy Warren.
You damn right.
Because he is the real Jimmy Warren.
I am the real Jimmy Warren. I'd say I'm the one and only, but there's no way that's true. First of all, I'm not even the only one in my family. I am one of three. My dad, my grandpa, and that's not funny though. That's not funny. What's up with the Brooklyn Nets?
What is up with the Brooklyn Nets?
I don't know. It's a topic I don't think it's talked about enough in life.
The Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets. They're owned by a Russian, and I think he was in charge of the hacking.
Yeah.
He's all of a sudden in Brooklyn. All of a sudden I own a Brooklyn team. Yeah, okay.
Right.
I don't trust the fucker is what I'm saying.
No trust in the Russian fucker, huh? But so let's talk about the New Day here. Supposedly, there's talks about the WWE splitting up the New Day. Now, I'm sure that could go either two ways. They could split them up and have them do their singles career, which like I said before, Big E, he's one of those dudes that's just he's really built. That dude is big.
Oh, it's a very very sizable guy,
big, and he can move. He can.
I mean, you've seen the way he flew through the middle rope,
right? I mean, he's to me, I can almost kind of compare him as far as his mobility. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, underrated guy, man.
Yes,
real underrated guy.
Very underrated. They could either split them up, and they'll each go their separate way, which personally I don't see happening.
Well, because then at that point you got to keep track of 3 different superstars.
Yes,
and where do they fall in line?
Right.
Although, getting back to I guess you would say the lack of depth at Raw, which I guess maybe we thought initially would have had more depth. I think there's room at Raw. I really do. I think there's room if you break them up to, maybe Big E gets a shot. Maybe Kofi is on the IC watch, or going to SmackDown somehow, or he's, you never know. But the way they do it has to be perfect. It has to be right, if indeed they do. But the way they do it has to be correct.
And then either so they could split him up, or they could turn him heel.
Right, which I'm definitely a fan of. If you haven't been able to tell yet on this show. I'm a fan of heels. I think it's a hell of an acting job to be the bad guy and like it.
I remember as a kid, I wasn't really the big fan of heels. I just wasn't.
Right. Well,
like as a kid, I couldn't stand Triple H.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Couldn't stand him.
Hated him.
It's like he always, it seemed like he always like cheated to win.
Well,
and
he screwed your heroes. I mean, when you're a kid watching wrestling, people, especially with our day and age when we were growing up, I mean, you had people like Stone Cold, you had people like The Rock, you had people like I mean, I don't know if Undertaker was ever really like a favorite as a kid as far as our hero. But Stone Cold for sure. I mean, The Rock for sure. I mean, I think you could say maybe Shawn Michaels. And to have the heels take out your hero. I mean, yeah, you hate it. I mean, it's like watching a villain in a Batman movie. Now that you're older, you're like, damn, I kind of appreciate the villain now. But back then, it was, oh man, you got to get him. Nowadays I can understand why people would hate the heel, especially little kids who are in love with Cena. They probably hate AJ Styles.
Yeah.
However, every time he comes out, that pop is enormous. Every time.
Yes, it is.
But
I've told you before, I love his theme song.
Oh yeah, because you don't want none.
That's right.
Period.
You do not want none. Yes, indeed. I keep saying yes, indeed a lot.
Well, it could be your catchphrase.
It could be yes, indeed.
See, I wanted mine to be what really grinds my gears, but that was taken by Family Guy.
Right. And
I'm pretty sure Seth MacFarlane would not be okay with me doing so, but I'll make him a deal. If he allows me to use the phrase grind my gears, I'll take his sister out for a nice evening.
That's a fair deal.
Have you ever seen Rachel McFarlane?
No.
Very attractive young lady. She's also the voice of Haley on American Dad.
Okay.
The daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty talented girl. Can sing and shit too. It's I don't know.
No shit.
Yeah, I would. Just saying, I would. That's about it as far as it's going. I don't think I'm taking it any further than that. Yeah. This is a family show.
Family-oriented show. That's
for right.
Sure. So yeah, I think possibly making the New Day heels would be the best thing to do.
The thing is, without the titles, what are they? Like, they will always get the love and the pop that they get in the beginning. when they come out and you hear Biggie yell, "Oh, don't you dare be sour," and everybody claps and sings along with that and everything. But once they're out there in the ring, they're funny. They're very comical trio. But after that, it's to the point you might as well just have them come out to their theme song and come in the ring and talk for a little bit and then go back.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more meaningful anymore for them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, unless they're in competition for the tag titles, there's no meaning. It's going to sound a little harsh, but there's no meaning for the New Day outside of and yet again, I don't mean in this bad of a statement, but it's almost like just a sideshow, just something that entertains you, which it is World Wrestling Entertainment, but the middle word is wrestling. Who are they going to wrestle that makes them relevant in that scene? Yes. Not the entertainment perspective, because there's never been an argument there.
Oh,
they're incredibly entertaining.
I would say they're probably the most entertaining right now.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, they popped out of a box of Bootios in Saiyan armor at WrestleMania.
You know
that what?
You know, at first, see, I don't really watch Dragon Ball Z, so I didn't quite understand. Know the whole.
Oh,
thing.
Dude, I lost it, dude. That was incredible.
But the thing is,
incredible.
At first, I thought, dude, they look like Power Rangers at first to me, like the White Ranger.
Right.
That's what he looked like. So I was like, oh hey, but then I was like, I realized, oh okay, well there's
Xavier Woods even had a tail,
right,
which was pretty sick. And then last week, yourself and myself and a couple of our other buddies, we attended WWE Raw down here in New Orleans. We did, and that was great.
That was awesome.
We will touch on at least a little bit of the ending of that for sure. But speaking of the New Day, they have they talk about Bootios all the time. Well, what about Booty Juice?
Titus
O'Neil carried some booty juice.
He did.
He carried like a man.
He carried it, but then he dropped it before he passed the line. So,
would you say would you say it came too early?
Yeah.
I would say so.
We can go with that.
Yeah, I think he came at the line too early.
Came at the line too early.
He was a false start. Let's do it. It was a false start. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure did you enjoy that last Monday?
Dude, I did. And I there were moments in my life, where I was really just 100% dedicated to wrestling.
Right.
And there were points in my life where I kind of grew out of it. Not to say grew out of it, but I just didn't really watch it.
It wasn't a priority.
Right.
Right.
But I have my little nephew, my brother's little one.
Right.
And he loves it. And he loves especially the New Day. Do you know who his favorite wrestler is?
I do not.
Just take a guess, and I'll give you a hint. We did actually talk about him this evening.
Kofi?
No.
Oh.
But he wrestled in the Attitude Era. And you mentioned about him facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Sting?
No.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess he wouldn't touch it.
And his old attire.
Oh, Kane?
Yes.
Really?
That is Tyler. That's Tyler's favorite wrestler.
Really?
Yep.
I tell you what, dude, if there was a way to bring back Kane in his old attire, first of all, why the hell did you ever change his attire? I think we could really spend a whole hour on that alone. But
well, dude, I say that about a lot of people. Like okay, you know what I thought would be cool for WrestleMania 25?
Mm-hmm.
When Shawn Michaels fought Taker.
Yeah.
And they had, I thought for the 25th anniversary it'd be cool if they both wore their old school outfits.
Right.
I thought it'd been really.
With Taker coming out in the purple gloves and stuff.
Well, yes, that would have been good, but I prefer the gray gloves.
Oh, the gray,
because that's how he debuted. He debuted with
he did
the gray.
He did debut with the gray gloves,
and then in the '90s he went to the purple.
Oh, okay.
Which I actually like the purple, but
and wearing the old hat.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just prefer the gray gloves.
Okay.
When he debuted.
Yeah.
Because that is, in my opinion, the best Taker. But
dude, that'd have been sweet.
But going back to what I was saying, I mean, I watch it now, but my nephew, I guess he kind of got me back into it, so to speak.
Right.
he was watching it, and like I remember just going to my brother's apartment one night, and we were all three watching wrestling. I said, man, this is just it's like I'm reliving childhood all over again, because I'm watching him and he's all into it. I'm like, man, it's just this cool because I got my little brother into it,
right, and
then he's getting his son into it. It's just like a cycle, I guess you could say, But yeah, so that that's I watch it now because of him. And when we went to Raw, it was me, my wife, and Chris, and Tyler, and some other friends. Tyler sat next to me, and he would. I would just look at him, and he would just be really into it.
Yeah.
And we forgot to bring headphones because last time I came here,
a little too loud.
Oh well, not too loud. Just more of he was just shocked by all the fireworks that he wasn't expecting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
it's way louder than on
TV.
Yeah,
dude,
for sure,
Shawn Michaels' fireworks was loud.
Oh, yeah.
And so was Jericho's. And then when he used to come out, dude, that was loud. But I remember when he was sitting next to me, he would, at one point, he just sat in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was he took my hands and put them over his ears.
Yeah, just in case, man.
Just in case. And so, dude, I literally had my hands covering his ears for, I don't know, good, like, I mean, not the whole time, but just whenever he thought, like, something was going to happen, he just, I thought I was like, look at this kid here.
But the eyes was still definitely on the prize down there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. But, yeah, I loved Raw. I thought Raw was great. Very entertaining. Especially the segment with Shawn Michaels and Enzo and Cass.
Oh, man.
And dissing on Rusev and
Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
The Enzo and Cass is just so comical, man. To have Enzo come out in a little rascal scooter.
Yeah.
And but the thing I kind of enjoyed, I'm a big HBK fan. He got a nice size pop, when he came out, as you would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Enzo and Cass, I think it's probably because they weren't expected at that moment. Dude, first of all, their theme song was great. Which is actually Enzo rapping in that song.
It is.
But my God, I mean, that was impressive. That was impressive. Just the way that act.
Right. Yeah, it was impressive. And it's great that Enzo and Cass, and even Shawn Michaels, are always just funny.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Right.
But what really made that night great for me, being I'm a big Jericho fan, was him winning the U.S. title.
Right. He never did it before.
And becoming a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, indeed he did. Indeed he did.
Became a Grand Slam champion. And you know what? He made the list of Grand Slam champions. I actually tweeted him that.
Did you?
I did, but he didn't respond.
See this
didn't
dude.
Respond.
He's being a heel.
And you know what? I expected him to do that. I mean, doing that meaning not respond. Just
Right.
But so I'm reading here, and I remember finding out via Facebook, former WWE superstar Fred Ottman, who was Tugboat,
Yeah.
and Typhoon, and Natural Disasters, and the infamous Shockmaster.
Oh, he was Shockmaster? Yeah. Oh, Jesus, man.
He was hospitalized.
Oh, man.
Recently. Says he was hospitalized on Tuesday morning. Now this was posted on the 12th of this month, so it's been a little bit. But I was hospitalized on Tuesday morning in St. Petersburg, Florida, according to his wife Sheila on Facebook.
Seems like every wrestler lives in Florida, but go on.
Right. Sheila announced that Fred was very sick and that the infection he had was very scary. And she also said that early Wednesday morning, Fred was alert and talking.
Mm-hmm.
The latest update came on Wednesday afternoon when she wrote that Fred was still very weak and sick, but is expected to be better in a few days. For all the fans out there listening who want to drop Tugboat a letter or card, can mail it to a certain address at the St. Anthony's Hospital to Fred Ottman on 145 Fifth Avenue North, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33701.
Well, hell, I mean, let's send him some love, people. Send him some love. He was the Shockmaster, man. For crying out loud.
Right. And actually, it's also saying here that Ottman is one of the rumored names for the 2017 WWE Hall of Fame class with late John Tenta, who was, trivia question,
John Tenta.
John Tenta. Who is he?
I definitely feel like I should know this.
Maybe.
John Tenta was, I don't know. The only name that popped in my head was Scrappy Doo, and that didn't have anything to do with any of this.
John Tenta was Earthquake.
Oh, really?
It was the other half of the natural disasters.
Yeah, okay.
I think that'd be great for Ottman, for sure. So another thing that I'm reading on here is why WWE got rid of King of the Ring.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but it hasn't really been happening the past couple of years. Like, they'll do it for a certain time and then, they'll stop.
Yeah, no, I've certainly noticed. I mean, King of the Ring at one point in time seemed to be one of the top 4, for the longest time.
Right. Well, from what I understand, they refer to them as, the big 4 of pay-per-views.
Which would be WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor
Series, and Royal Rumble.
Right.
But I mean, I think King of the Ring would get like an honorable mention.
Yeah, I think so. I think nowadays Money in the Bank would get an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because of obviously that great match,
Right.
What that Money in the Bank is.
Who was invented by
Chris Jericho.
That's right.
My
boy. But I'm reading here that during a Q&A session on Bruce Pritchard's Something to Wrestler With podcast, he revealed the real reason WWE decided to drop the King of the Ring as a pay-per-view event. And according to him, Vince McMahon didn't like the concept. And it was also the company's lowest sales for a pay-per-view event of the year.
Really?
And this is in quotes. The pay-per-views events during the summer didn't do all that well. And King of the Ring wasn't a large grossing pay-per-view, so Vince wasn't really excited about it and decided to change it up. I kind of miss King of the Ring.
I mean, it did spark Steve Austin's career.
It did.
It did create King Booker.
Yes, it did.
Definitely some memorable moments. But I mean, if you have things like Fastlane and Payback and these things that don't matter, I mean, why take those away? And you just recently brought back Backlash for a SmackDown original.
Right. The UK title tournament happened. It says here that 19-year-old Tyler Bate won the first ever WWE United Kingdom Championship by defeating Pete Dunne.
Oh, really?
In the finals of the UK tournament, and the tournament aired over the 2 nights on WWE Network, which I didn't see. Did you
I have not watched it. I know a little bit about Dunne. He and I ate fish and chips the other day. We weren't in England though. We were in Kenner. But
Kenner, bro.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great doing some international stuff because they've always traveled internationally, but actually having a UK title is pretty sweet.
And apparently Vince McMahon is disappointed with 205 Live.
Maybe it could be because of what I hinted to last time, is that there's no damn character development between the frickin' cruiserweights.
Let's see. Vince McMahon has been very disappointed with the lack of fan interest from both WWE 205 Live and the Raw Cruiserweight division, which I think I can actually kind of relate to that. I mean, when the Cruiserweights come out, it's almost to me like the new, bathroom break match. In my opinion, that's just me though. But
yeah, I mean, it doesn't have. I don't know. I mean, you have T.J. Perkins with that great entrance, but as far as that, is what it is. He's a good wrestler. I mean, all the cruiserweights are.
Well, let me pause real quick. That is a great entrance, except for one thing.
Except for the dab, yeah.
That goddamn dab,
dude.
T.J. Perkins, if you were listening, don't just stop.
Just stop dabbing.
Stop dabbing.
Just stop dabbing. Or should I call you Manic? I don't think anybody else maybe understands that reference. Fun fact of the day is T.J. Perkins was actually a masked man named Manic in TNA.
Really?
Held the X Division title a couple of times, yes.
Wow.
He was very young then. He was like 19 years old when he did it.
Jeez.
He's he's definitely still a very young guy. The Cruiserweight division was a great idea and still could end up being something good. But you have people who have immense talent, like Rich Swann, like Cedric Alexander, like T.J. Perkins, like Brian Kendrick, people who are very, very talented. Mm-hmm. But why do I give a damn about you? And Neville may be the saving grace of that division.
You may be right on that statement there.
I think he's going to be the saving grace, and also the person to knock him off, the face or the anti-hero, who would knock off Neville, would certainly make a name for himself in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
Big time development for them.
Yeah. But I remember when I was at Raw, I really wasn't into it during the cruiserweight matches. I don't know.
Well, I think the lust of it being this new thing has worn off. It's like alright, you see Brian Kendrick. You had the Cruiserweight Classic, which was, in every sense of the word, a classic. But the issue is, you have a bunch of those guys who didn't come to the Cruiserweight division. People like Johnny Gargano, people like Tommaso Ciampa. Two of your better guys who are a tag team in NXT. I know, I get it. But they had a fabulous match against each other. A true classic, yet again, in every sense of the word. I don't know. I think you concentrated in the Cruiserweight Classic so much on talent in the ring, so much on the actual wrestling match in the ring, that you kind of disregarded the actual development of these characters.
Yeah.
They're good in the ring. Okay, awesome. You're in the entertainment business. That's the last letter in WWE.
Right.
We've concentrated on the world, which is getting all the best cruiserweights from all over the world. We've concentrated on the wrestling. Let's concentrate on the entertainment part. Thus far, they certainly have not done a good job, but they forced it. They forced it upon themselves.
Right.
You're talking about right after T.J. Perkins won the Cruiserweight Championship, they're all of a sudden on Raw and in their own division.
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about it very, very recently. You don't give the people time to damn breathe.
Right.
These are people who are very good wrestlers, but they're not great characters.
I think I have to agree with you on that. I think what gets people interested is not only the wrestling, but just that persona.
Right.
You get tired, huh?
Oh, I'm exhausted. But I think sleeping so damn much, I think I went through another sleep cycle or something. All right, ladies and gents, we're getting a little tired over here in the man cave. So we're gonna finish it up with a segment that we've talked about for a little while, and we finally want to throw it out there. So we're gonna do a segment called Overrated, Underrated.
Overrated, underrated.
And quite simply, we're gonna name a couple wrestlers, and we're gonna give you our take on whether they're overrated or underrated. Starting off with none other than the human wrecking ball himself, Kevin Owens. What would you say, sir?
I'm going to go with underrated.
You're going to go with underrated?
Underrated.
Okay. I think I'd go... Kevin Owens has shown to be a top guy.
Yes.
But I think because of the way he's gone about winning, not the cheating part, but the running and stuff like that, not looking like necessarily a pussy, but just running from a fight.
Okay.
The chant is, fight Owens, fight. And
right.
He's running from a fight. So as of this moment, I'm going to go overrated.
Okay, we'll see. Okay.
That can change.
Yes.
But as of this moment, as much as I do like him, I'm going overrated.
Okay. All right, so what about Braun Strowman?
Braun Strowman, because of the way he could probably dismantle anyone, because of all of that, and because he has been billed as a monster, as a monstrous guy.
Yes.
But at the same time, there's still a lot left to be desired from him.
Yes.
The whole, yet again, why should I give a damn about you? You're just a big freaking dude. Why should I invest myself on you winning or losing? Why should I hate you? Why should I love you? Mm-hmm. Why should I just be like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of rooting for him. At this point, I appreciate what they've done with him.
So do I.
But I don't really care about it that much. I understand it, but I'm not really bought in yet. So I'm gonna go overrated.
I actually went overrated as well.
Yeah.
It's like I told you before. I want to see Strowman and Lesnar.
Yeah.
I want to see those two giants go at it.
Right. You could bill him. You could bill Strowman as an anti-hero. If you want to change him from the heel, you could bill him as somebody who maybe saves somebody that the audience loves. from getting destroyed by Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. If it's booked right, Strowman could be quite underrated if it's booked correctly.
Yep.
Which I hope they will do in the future, because he does have the talent as a strong man to become something more than what he is. I'm not saying he's going to be a top guy. I don't believe that. But there is more to his story.
Yes, I do agree with that. Yeah, they definitely need to build on him more. I think it'll get people more interested, and it'll be more intriguing to see.
Oh, of course,
of
course.
What happens with that? Okay, so up next we have The Miz.
Let me put it like this, just to start off with: if there was no AJ Styles this year, if there was no AJ Styles showing up at Royal Rumble, The Miz would have been Wrestler of the Year. What he's done on the mic to turn his character around, he is a dastardly heel. You should boo him. He has done the best work of his career. He has done career work that people like CM Punk would be proud of. That people like the old Triple H when he was a heel would be proud of.
Yes.
What he's done picking on Daniel Bryan, he has done everything right. The Miz is about as underrated as anybody ever on this roster.
You know, I said the same thing. I also said he was underrated. Or picked him to be underrated, I should say. Now, The Miz is a guy, I'll be honest, you know, he's doing his job as being a heel very well.
Right, you do.
Because I don't like him.
Right, exactly.
But with him having Maurice help him win.
Fuel on the fire, man. It's fuel on the fire, yeah.
It's, see, that, it goes back to what I was saying about Triple H. You know, how, back when I was younger, I didn't like Triple H.
Right.
Because he just always, I don't want to say always, but he just kind of at times cheated to win, or had someone from DX come and help him, or something along those lines. But yeah, I'll definitely put Miz underrated.
Yeah, he seriously has done really, really damn good work.
His skills in the ring are great.
There is a heel on SmackDown, and it's The Miz.
Oh, yes.
Although AJ, to be honest, has done a hell of a job as a heel as well. But The Miz is the epitome of heel.
Yes.
You want to look up the definition of what a heel is.
The Miz.
You see his picture right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a true classic heel, and I think it's great. Closing up with that, we have...
Up next, and our last person in the overrated, underrated segment is Baron Corbin.
Ooh.
I put him as underrated.
Yeah, I think that may actually be the easiest one out of the four.
Yes.
Baron Corbin is going up. There is
for sure.
He's not even leveling off. I mean, he is the match he had with Cena on SmackDown. The way they're pushing him to feud and not look out of place with people like Styles, with Cena, with what he was doing with Ziggler, with maybe if they do something down the road with Ambrose. Baron Corbin's ready to be a main eventer. Baron Corbin's ready to maybe, not necessarily win a title, but he's ready to be a main eventer. So I'd certainly go underrated. Oh
yeah, he's definitely working his way up, the ladder with that for sure. I love his persona. I love his lone wolf.
Oh yeah,
character. I dig it.
I think Roman Reigns should pay attention to that a little bit. Actually,
you may be onto something by saying that for sure.
Don't answer no questions. Go there, kick ass and leave.
Right. And honestly, I like Corbin. I like his work in the ring, man. I mean,
he's exciting to watch.
He
man.
is, and
for a big guy, I mean, he's exciting to watch.
And I love his finishing move, the End of Days.
Dude, the End of Days is an awesome finisher.
It is.
He also has, which all great dark type characters have, they have a move that kind of sets it up in the Deep Six. The Deep Six is almost like an inverted version of Abyss's Black Hole Slam. Another TNA reference. But
right.
It's another, which actually is more references to TNA than Spike ever gave him. But that's another hint at how shitty Spike Network is. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But, we appreciate y'all listening. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you. We will be back as soon as we possibly can. And, as always, enjoy life. Enjoy life. Enjoy beer. Enjoy wrestling.
And Dish out the RKO's out of nowhere to anyone and everyone.
Out of nowhere. And always remember, you may be in your house, you may be laying down in bed, you may be in your car, you may be at work, you may be on a train, you may be on a plane. But somewhere, at this very moment, Alex Rodriguez is eating a baby kitten. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.